Alrighty, I think we're about ready for a chase. Let it be summer. It's not happening right now. It happened last night. But I just got both feeds from two different helicopters to get the two angles. I just finished syncing them up right now. We're going to pick this up. It is a dramatic chase. It has an amazing ending. And it's going to be incredible here. Let me see if I can come on the screen. Hey, look, I'm not in the courthouse. I'm just hovering. I've got a little mini-me next to the desk. He's doing all the talking here. Let's see. I think we're good here. Let me see if I can bring this up at the same time. 1 second. 3. Ready, set, go. Okay, let me show you what we've got here. We've got a chase going on and it's not quite synced up. Man, I thought I had this perfect. Okay, we'll get it synced up. We've got two angles here going on. The top one, I'm going to pause for just a second. Okay. I thought I had it perfectly. We'll get it synced up here. Let's go ahead and take the one stream here. Let's take camera 2. Full stream. What we have here is we have a carjacking suspect. Okay, this is right out of just outside of Anaheim, Los Angeles area, California. This guy, not only is he like in a stolen car and running from the cops, but he has a pew pew, and he's discharging it out the window at police officers. It's insane. It's absolutely incredible. The speed is going to get way up there. It goes both on the freeway and off the freeway, and it's going to be amazing. Let me see who was first in chat here. O-Town Chill, first in chat. Congratulations. I'm just trying to see if I can get this synced properly. I thought for sure I had it, but maybe not. Let's see. I think we're right back here. Okay, 109 miles an hour, 110 miles an hour. Let's see what camera 3's got going on for me. Apologize. Now I've got weird sound going on. And now the driver goes on to some surface streets. I want this to be here. Okay. There we go. All right. It's a little loud chase. I'm going to turn on some audio from camera 2 so you can hear what's happening.
If this gets off the freeway, I really worry what kind of damage he could do on surface street. So if they could
O-Town Chill, congratulations being first in chat. I guess we have to give you the internet.
Not even in the vicinity, and
congratulations, happy Saturday to you.
He is doing here. I mean, this is very dangerous, very erratic driving. Almost hit that car right there, cutting people off.
He did actually strike a vehicle before the helicopters got on scene.
No lights and sirens. He is just booking it at just going as fast as that truck will travel, I think, with the helicopters overhead.
Adam, you can't detox. No detox allowed. Look at him move along there. Holy cow. Just cutting through traffic. And this is a big truck, too. This is a full-size truck. I can't tell. Is that a... I can't tell the brand. Is it Dodge, Chevy, Ford? Somebody can help me out here. I will tell you, I've got parts of this on my replay machine already slowed down, because there are some times where you see some puffs of smoke from the car.
Obviously, we're speculating a little bit. Anytime you hear the word road rage, you have to wonder whether the person is in their right state of mind. Are they under the influence? Is it something like that? Or is this a larger crime spree that is underway here in Corona this afternoon? We're now into Anaheim Hills area, where he is still riding that shoulder to get around the very
Dilly,
few
I'm
cars
sorry.
in his way. They're not really even in his way, but he is just about to off-road here to get around the few cars that there
Missy
are.
Pants, thanks for gifting a membership.
Thank
you so much.
He doesn't want to pull over to the right here.
I tell you, I can barely read chat. My eyes are so blurry from all the pollen and sawdust that I got in my eyes today. Agent K, congratulations, you've you've won the
and our assignment desk did
you've won
get
the
some
membership
information
that Missy
may also
Pants
involve a robbery.
donated. Thank you so
again,
much.
This could be part of a larger crime spree, or this could just be, well, I think at this point it's fair
Curved
to say
hood.
this
What
is
does
a crime
curved hood
spree
mean?
because
Is that
now,
going to be dodge?
when you see somebody daring enough and brazen enough to carjack somebody in the middle of the day like that at a gas station just to get away from the cops. Obviously,
he's doing 75 and he's passing people on the freeway, so I'm guessing the speed limit here is probably 65. But it's also sort of heavy traffic, so you can see a lot of stop and go. Sort of lanes aren't moving evenly, so it may be a 70-mile-an-hour speed limit here, but that's much faster than the flow of traffic that he's going.
You called it. Look at those main line. Those main lanes are all full. So now
let me see where I am in the timeline here.
The main lanes have backed up quickly. That traffic that he's flying past there is barely moving. He's still doing 100 miles per hour past all of those people as he approaches the 55 freeway. That's part of the reason that the freeway slows down right here. It's also a little bit of an incline here, so he is going against traffic. Again, a bulk of that rush hour traffic is coming eastbound. He is going westbound, but you're so right. The further west he gets, the heavier traffic.
Do we know why he's running? Well, I believe it's not his truck. He used a pew-pew to get the previous occupant out. I don't believe there were any injuries, but little bang-bang happened. I believe he has already discharged his pea shooter at police officers already. So we know that he's armed, he's running, a stolen vehicle, pretty much everything. Oh, look, there's a truck just like his right next to him. Look at that. This would be a good idea to like switch vehicles and like hide and hop in the other truck. Look how similar they are, side by side. Officers right there behind him.
I would have expected CHP to be the first people to arrive here, but that looks like that might be Corona PD. He's shooting. He's got a gun. That's a gun. That's an assault rifle. That's an assault rifle that just came out of that driver's side window, shooting back at those units. He just shot in the direction of those law enforcement units.
He just did that.
That is believed to be Corona PD. I can't confirm that. That's believed to be Corona PD. That was a large, long assault rifle that came out of the driver's side of that pickup truck. He is now fleeing at 90 miles per hour, and all of those black and whites are at a standstill.
I'm only smiling because I know how this ends.
Of the freeway here, get better eyes on the driver's side, but guys, we are dealing with, obviously, I mean, it goes without saying, we are dealing with a major criminal behind the wheel of this pickup truck.
Now, when it gets this serious, the cops aren't going to back off. There are other times that the police will say, like, "Oh my
flying
goodness,
across the freeway, flying across the freeway.
Goodness.
Look
Barely
at this.
made that
Getting
move.
Getting off.
There are other times where the police will say, "Hey, it's getting too dangerous. We're going to back off." But if they've got somebody who's firing a weapon from the vehicle,
and
they're like, "We need to put an end to this. This is very serious." Windows down, you can actually see the driver.
Is he wearing a uniform? I can't tell for sure. Or maybe a sports jersey.
It's a sports jersey.
Maybe it's a. Okay, it's just a T-shirt. Okay, I thought I saw an arm patch there. Excuse me. Yeah, it caught me off guard there. Obviously, an older gentleman with a goatee wearing a baseball cap, and it does look like maybe a sports jersey or a T-shirt that he's wearing.
He's just cruising down the road.
Lap.
Yep. You can see the firearm.
Yeah, he's got a gun in his lap there, and now look at this, communicating with the pickup truck next to him. The driver rolling down the window, taking his AirPods out, trying to communicate with another driver. Looks like he's asking for directions. He's asking for directions. He's at Tustin Avenue, just off of the 55 freeway, and it looks like he was trying to figure out where he is or where he's going. There are going to be multiple agencies now that are going to be.
There are at least 3 times during this chase that you're going to see little puffs of smoke coming from the driver's
Riverside
seat.
County Sheriff. You're talking about Orange County Sheriffs. You're talking about Anaheim PD, Corona PD, the California Highway Patrol. They will stop at nothing at this point after he just fired that weapon at those units. We don't know if anybody was hit. It was
Sorry about
just
that.
too, it happened too fast, and we did not get a good glimpse at the pursuing officers there, but it appeared to be, from what I'm being told, a Corona PD officer that pulled in behind this pickup truck, and as he came to a stop in the middle of the transition there, he pulled out that assault rifle, and look at this, right through the red here, he's making a left turn onto, I think that's going to
He's
put
trying
him
to make a left turn.
freeway, Rob.
Look at that, look at the truck in front of him. Completely blocks him.
Onto the westbound side of the 91. He wants to get back onto the
There's an officer right on his tail, but the officer can't do anything.
Driver's side window being rolled up now, guys.
Yes, this is yesterday in California. I've got the other feed. I'm just trying to get it synced up right now so we can I can share the two feeds side by side, because we do have two helicopters that follow this chase. If you'll give me just a minute, I'll have that rigged up so you'll be able to have multiple angles of the same chase. Lock your cars, yes. You'll see why that's important towards the end of this chase. Lock your cars for sure when you're driving.
They will stop at nothing. I think that's fairly obvious at this point, even though we don't see any law enforcement in the picture just yet. That's going to change in the next few minutes. They have to work together and triangulate and catch up with him despite all the traffic, but that is going to change, and you're going to see lots of units pursuing this truck. They will even start performing traffic breaks to shut down the freeway if they have to.
The size of this truck makes it dangerous as well.
Back at that Corona PD officer, Corona PD fired back at the pickup truck. Now, you saw that close-up through the driver's side there. It certainly appeared that he was not injured, but there were bullets flying in his direction. So a shootout there on the transition. Corona PD firing their weapons back. This is now an officer-involved shooting. They stopped, and he kept going, again, at triple-digit speeds, just as he's doing right now in the HOV lane. We, again, are on the westbound side of the 91 freeway. I don't see any. In fact, Rob, can you pull out? There might be one or two. There's a. That is going to be.
At least three behind
Dan,
him.
help me out here. Is that an unmarked CHP unit? That might be an unmarked. Let's go ahead and show me the white SUV really quick. White SUV. Is that? That's a. I think that's a supervisor, right? That would be a CHP supervisor.
Supervisors get unmarked cars.
It could be a canine or either a supervisor. In any case, that's the white SUV you see. That's CHP. There's another black unmarked unit that's behind him. So a couple of unmarked units, and then I think I saw black and white behind them. I'm sorry, there's a lot happening up here, guys, but from what I've counted, at least 3 units with their lights and sirens going. 2 of them look like fairly unmarked vehicles, or at least
I will tell
not
you,
your typical patrol cars.
the time of day this happened
one of them may
is in
have
the
been a
early
canine
afternoon
unit. In any event,
on Friday.
They are not pulling back.
And
They
unfortunately,
are
he's
going to
go through a school zone
right
as school is letting out, and there are kids everywhere. This is one of the most dangerous chases I've ever seen.
Anywhere to go. Traffic's not exceptionally
Ford
heavy. It's
F-150.
like moderate traffic right now. Basically, we'd call that stop and go, but he's slowing down with it because he really has nowhere to go with that center divider there. So he doesn't even have much shoulder to work with.
Supervisors normally have slick tops, so that's just going to be an unmarked. That's what happens when you drive on the wrong side of the road to begin with. Move over to the side. Yeah, so many people don't know how to drive. And we see all of the problems during a high-speed chase. Late, but not as late as this guy. This guy's going to be late for a lot of things for a long time. I'm thinking work for several months. Lived in South Carolina for 1 year, says Rachel Wood. Every day I saw a high-speed chase on TV. It was just like, it's like, well, here's your weather, here's your breaking news from the morning, and here's your high-speed chase. It's regular. Carol says, wow, snuck this one in. I did. It's late, and I apologize for that. I don't blame you if you want to catch up with this one later. Freedom Stick's gone wrong. I know. Not good. Not good. Princess Lukey says, I've lived in SoCal since '65. So you're an old hat when it comes to this. You know exactly what's going on. I'm waiting for the point where the other helicopter joins in the pursuit here. Can you imagine if this was in Arkansas?
As we proceed through this Chase, guys, I go through all of the possible ways in my head that this could possibly end, and I think it's fair to say that most of the typical ways that we're used to seeing these pursuits end are probably not on the list of how this one's going to end. Obviously, we have no idea how exactly it's going to come to an end, but the behavior that we are seeing here is, let's just say, next level. By the way, we are dealing with multiple agencies even before he carjacked this truck. So despite the information that we received about the road rage and the hit and run, that would be a serious enough charge that would warrant a lot of law enforcement, with no doubt. But if there was another robbery involved or whatever else, it certainly would make a lot of sense, because there was already 2 helicopters overhead when we were hearing about this pursuit. It included Riverside County Sheriff and Ontario PD. Ontario is nowhere near here. So for Ontario to come down to Corona,
hey Colby, this happened last night. This is not brand new. It's actually yesterday afternoon in California. This was one of the most dangerous chases I've seen.
CHP, before he carjacked this vehicle, was already
the driver here is wanted for a hit and run. He's wanted for carjacking the vehicle, and he has an AR type style rifle, as well as I believe a pistol in the truck. I'm not sure. And he's used it several times in the direction of police officers, and he's going to use it some more out the window and through the front windshield before this is over. I'm just syncing up another angle, just waiting for the 2 points to merge so I can show you 2 videos at the same time, so we have 2 angles. But do you think the driver can see the helicopters? I think actually that's what I want to sync this up for. I think the driver may have been shooting at a helicopter. Now, it could have been a police helicopter, because he shoots out through the front of the windshield in an upward direction. So it's possible he was aiming at a helicopter.
If he stays on the 91, or even if he takes the
right, it's very dark in California right now. This was yesterday.
I want to say he's coming up on the 5, right? Yeah,
very pretty truck. It's going to need some work by the time this is done.
He might commit to the 91, which I think if he stays in that lane, he still has an option, I believe. I just saw that sign. I think he still has the option of staying on the 91 or getting off and getting onto the 5 freeway. He's over the goal point, thinking about it, thinking about switching over, and I think pushing on that sign right there.
Or we could just overlay the map.
On the left side, if he stays in that left lane, that'll put him on the 91, right side onto the 5. He's staying left, taking the left lane onto the 91, so staying on the 91 westbound, where traffic is a little bit lighter.
I hope Tesla doesn't know what to do with this situation. Who writes the programming for how to handle a high-speed chase in your rearview mirror in a Tesla? Because the drivers are practically half asleep, just barely holding onto the wheel so that the car doesn't stop on its own. But, oh my goodness. He just about tapped that car, and at this speed it would be so dangerous.
I mean, just with the knowledge of the high caliber weapon that he's got in his lap there, and the way he's willing to use it, if he's willing to fire at police officers, he's willing to fire at anybody who gets in his way. And that's why, as you guys are talking about, it's so dangerous to be anywhere near this. These are all innocent people. If at the very least they could get more units to shut down the freeway, that would be the ideal. I mean, that from my perspective would be the number one thing that they should be doing, is shutting down the freeway. I will leave them to make that call, leave it to them. But
the
right
California
now,
freeways shut down on their own
CHP
every time
units
it's rush hour.
They have fallen way back
my goodness.
because he's continued
that was so
these
close.
ridiculous speeds.
Truck gets great gas mileage. Unfortunately, look at all the dirt he's kicking up. That's going to be like nail in the tire. All the debris on the side of the road, he's driving right through that.
I think he's just blowing up a little dust and dirt there on the side of the lane there. But all 4 tires so far appear to be intact. I don't think he's damaged the vehicle in any way. We've seen a lot of close calls, but I don't think he's actually hit anybody. So the vehicle performing great. We have to assume that he's got a full tank of gas. We have to hope that the tank was almost empty and maybe they didn't have time to fill the gas up yet. We don't know. But in any event, he's now starting to shift over to the right, maybe trying to get around traffic, or maybe thinking
it was right before the podcast. I actually debated delaying the podcast to follow the police chase, but it was already like halfway through.
Yeah, Carmenita is going to be the next exit. That might be Carmenita there. So he had the chance to get off of Carmenita. There's the shoulder that he's going to use to get around traffic as he makes his way through Cerritos.
Just about hit that, the edge of the road there.
Traffic is
just
going
off the shoulder.
really start to slow down. He's going to be using that shoulder for the next couple of miles. And really, I mean, this is a top-heavy vehicle, as you obviously know, and he is taking some of these lane changes really, really fast. So he is obviously very agitated. His adrenaline must be through the roof. And there's Artesia Boulevard, it looks like.
2 car accidents this year with a Tesla bot were not my fault. Princess Lukey, that's no fun. Let's see.
Getting off at Artesia.
Looks like an exit here. Let's see if this is the one. I think this is where we sync up. Yep, it is. Turns left. Okay, so now I can switch over to here. And we should have two angles side by side. Let's see, I can do a better split than that. Hang on.
Red light, through the light, cutting off somebody going in oncoming lanes of traffic, westbound Artesia Boulevard, coming up to another red light with lots of cross traffic, going through the red light again in the wrong lanes. He's going the wrong way on Artesia Boulevard, shifting back over to the correct side of the road there, continuing westbound Artesia Boulevard. Guys, what we don't see here is any law enforcement yet. None of them were able to get off the freeway with them. We have not seen any law enforcement for several minutes. This is so scary.
The one cameraman is doing an awful job. The other guy is fantastic. Okay, I need to pause for like a split second on 2.
You can't predict. He hasn't established any kind of a pattern. So, to be honest, a spike strip.
He almost stopped to let that guy pass. It's one of the new aluminum F-150s.
I would call it a long shot. Now, there are a couple of units that have managed to pull up here on Artesia Boulevard. I think one of them
made out of recycled beer cans.
SUV, perhaps a different agency. Can't confirm that. Another black and white behind him. Look at him doing 90 miles per hour on surface streets here. About 80 to 90 miles per hour on Artesia Boulevard, coming up on yet another red light here. He's going to skirt around it and go through. Watch this. He's coming up to the crosswalk and now inching his way through here, slowing down for the cross traffic and continuing westbound Artesia with those units behind him.
Lindsay, I watched the ending of this, but when I found I had 2 angles available to me, I wanted to grab both of those so you guys could see everything from 2 sides. You know I like to do this. I think he lost a side mirror. Somebody did along that. I like to show you multiple angles. I like to use the hardware I've got here to give you a better experience than just watching one channel. And so I decided to restream it because of that, because I had that second angle. This was last night. I did watch the ending. It's a fantastic chase as far as the ending and what happens.
People getting off school, as you said, people coming home from work. The streets are obviously very busy. We haven't seen a whole lot of pedestrian traffic here, but he is putting so many lives in danger, and I just worry about what happens when he comes to another stop. If he feels threatened or if he stops the vehicle once again, his options are going to be limited, but he's the one with the gun.
It's a trippy effect.
So,
Does that make you guys dizzy?
Oh, forget about it. I mean, he's blowing through. He's slowing down for some intersections.
Got to separate him a little bit.
Others. It just takes one wrong move.
Yeah, it's weird. He's bullish in Seattle. He does like weird moves. Sometimes he like stops and yields or waits for the light almost, and other times he just goes straight through.
Trying to get past the couple of vehicles here. It's not even like a big traffic jam. He is just trying to lead those units crazy. About 100 yards back.
Is that OJ? No, it would have to be a white Bronco. The white Bronco was OJ.
I mean, my mind immediately goes to the wild and crazy chase we covered in Fullerton just a few months ago back in November. We all know how that one ended, a much different situation, but still, I mean, that was one where we literally saw 3 carjackings in one afternoon in one pursuit. So, you know, the sky's limited. Look, people biking across the street here. He's taking a left turn.
There's one point where there's a person in a wheelchair that's going to be in front of the road. It just barely gets across the road before this truck
southbound side of Woodruff,
just about takes him out.
Maybe even saw those people and just figured, let me just get off of Artesia here. He made a wild left there, and when we
Jennifer, it gets worse. Oh my goodness, it gets so worse. The announcers are the helicopter reporters already said that the school is getting out. And look at this. Look at this intersection up ahead. Look at this. This is a crosswalk full of kids.
Look at this.
Full of kids. The next one's worse.
Look at this. A whole
Look at this.
Group of kids crossing the street. School letting out here. This is the worst. This is the worst. This is the worst. Let's just hope he continues through at a slow clip here, lets the kids cross, and just keeps going. Nobody here has any idea what has happened or what is going on inside that pickup truck. Please just keep going. Please just keep going. He's stopping. He's stopping. He's trying to maybe communicate with that white SUV. Look at this. There are a bunch of units now. There they are. They've caught up now. A whole different story as they're going to, okay. So the first question I have, and Rob will help me out with this when he can, I want to, and with the help of our assignment desk, I want to get a better idea of what other
It's a nice farm truck.
Are involved here, because like I said earlier, there are going to be numerous agencies, as there likely were right there just at that intersection alone. A whole bunch of different agencies certainly were in Cerritos' jurisdiction. So Cerritos PD, that was actually Corona and Anaheim still. I'm being told still Corona and Anaheim.
Seriously, that could have been so bad. So bad.
Managed to catch up with him here in Cerritos, now taking a turn.
No bail. Lock him up.
I want to say that's O'Connell Avenue. We'll confirm that here in a second. That's South Street. Made a turn onto South Street, going northbound on South Street. The good news, guys, is that there were about at least a half a dozen armed units behind him, that they will be in a position now
Wrong
to
way traffic.
Mitigate whatever we are about to see here. But here he is, face to face in oncoming lanes of traffic with more unsuspecting motorists, completely innocent
Age the lost. This was a chase that happened yesterday, right as we were going live on the podcast.
What are the options? I mean, you have to wonder.
So I found a second angle with 2 helicopters, and I thought for sure I'd share it to you. It's got a fantastic ending, which is good.
How do they strategize to bring this to an
this is
end
not normal.
any quicker than we see any other chase? Because this guy has to be taken off the road as soon as possible. We know that. That's a given at this point. Coming to another stop at South and Autry, and he keeps going. He's got a half a dozen units making the left turn.
He has an AR in his lap.
One hand on the wheel.
I'm not sure if it's 300 blackout, but it's an AR.
What's in his left hand? You guys might have a better shot than I do with the monitor.
Yes, it was fun. I was watching as we were doing the show prep, and I was like, hey, so let's watch it. I was listening on the scanner as well.
Street, yep, another school zone, a much narrower residential street on Michelson Street. Coming up on, I mean, he's not really familiar with this area, so he's going to probably make up some of these turns, just kind of go. I mean, but this is a
hey, Michelle, good to have you here.
Neighborhood here, so this street might lead to a major.
Yes.
Turned onto might actually not. That looks like a playground that I just saw. Looks like another school. Is that a school, Rob? It's another school. Passing another school. I don't see any kids around.
Cyclist out there on the road just barely made it across.
That's Anaheim. Anaheim PD. Anaheim PD overhead. Anaheim police on the ground. And Corona PD following this guy to the bitter end.
So look at the windshield. The windshield's in great shape right now. It will not be that way later on. He's gonna punch some holes in it.
Yeah.
I can. We could see it
I
earlier.
think he's a little bit trapped
Watch the driver's side.
Look at this, firing more shots at those units. firing at least 2 more shots. Pointing right, something came flying off either the back of the truck or he threw it out. Did you see that, Rob? I think he ran over something too. I think he might have run over some trash or debris, but we just saw 2 more flashes from the barrel of that gun fired right in the direction of those officers.
So that's the second time that we've seen him fire since the police followed this. We believe there was a firing before that. But there's going to be at least one more. And it's going to be through or I think there are 2 more times through the windshield. This one, it runs, the whole thing is about an hour. I think we started a little bit into it. So it's less than an hour. But it goes for way too long, way too long.
As he hard brake there as he came up on that intersection. So a little bit too hard. You saw a little bit of smoke emanating, and now he's continuing through through Del Amo, continuing south or northbound. I'm sorry, northbound Bellflower.
This one ends because of a very brave officer.
Hoping to lose those officers. When we get a chance, we'll widen out once again to see if any of them have managed to keep up after that last shooting. And it looks like they have fallen back again. They have fallen back, trying to figure out. And certainly we hope that nobody was hurt there, but that's a very real possibility. He fired at fairly close range. You guys might be able to
I think he's locking up the brakes. That's the smoke off the right. It's intermittent. I think it's only when he's stopping or skidding. There's a lot of dust in the center median as well.
The position where he shot that gun, that was fairly close range. Certainly hope for the best for those officers. We're continuing through another major intersection.
This is California.
Through
this was yesterday.
Another red light, continuing northbound Bellflower Boulevard.
It's always sunny in California. It's always green. Rando, it's a late dinner. Glad we can join you for dinner. Or it would be late for me. It's like 10 o'clock at night.
There is no possibility that they will back off of this guy intentionally.
Nope, they won't.
There is no possibility that this is going to end any other way than either him going to jail tonight or worse. So that's the given that I could tell you.
92, 95 miles an hour now.
To that point is certainly up for grabs.
It's the better image right now. Yeah, hot mic, clearing your throat. That's always good. Hey, Georgia Culture, good to have you here. Brave or just the right place at the right time? A little of both. A little of both.
By the way, I have to correct myself. I said northbound. He's traveling southbound on Bellflower.
He's just edging out to an intersection. He's about to get
northbound. He's traveling southbound ever since he made that turn out of that neighborhood. So traveling closer to Seal Beach here as he makes his way through Lakewood, and now continuing here, slowing down where he has to, but really with no hesitation, jumping into the wrong lanes of traffic and continuing to blow through red lights. I apologize, Ellen, you mentioned something there. You asked me a question. I didn't quite catch it. What was that?
Bad Boys 2 always going to take. He's going to test drive. Yeah, he's testing everything
there
on here.
There it is, the 405. He's jumping on the 405. And that, I think, will be the northbound side of the 405. It sure is. It sure is. He is taking the 405 northbound, and we are back on the freeway. The good news with this, aside from the obvious, is that...
Allie B, this isn't live. This was yesterday afternoon, right before we went for the podcast, went live with the podcast. So this is about 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon in California yesterday. I just found that they had 2 camera angles, and I like chases where we have multiple angles. So I thought we'd live stream it today, even though it's a day old.
To shut down the freeway, I have to believe that's the case.
He did steal it. He stole it with the firearm. Look at that! I've never seen a jet fly in underneath the helicopter as the chase. So they must be near the approach somewhere. But that's crazy. Don't the cars over there have horns? We don't use them. You know, you just have a middle finger and use that instead, apparently. Pretty heavy traffic. Let's see. It's probably going to give the officers a chance to catch up. Fisherman, that's a great channel to watch live chases on. Love the live streams and the police scanner that he runs in the background. Maybe I'm not on board with everything partakes in, but he's got some great content.
They are going to have to call in. My anticipation here, with limited knowledge, and I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, obviously, guys, but the only practical thing that I could think of, and there happens to be one nearby, is for the LA County Sheriff's Department, for example, to bring in one of their armored Bearcat vehicles. Presumably, they will need to bring in several armored vehicles to surround this truck. But this is a situation where a pit maneuver ain't going to happen. Spike strips are out of the question. All of the things that we're used to seeing.
Wendy, this is so true.
That book away. Just take that textbook and throw it out the
window. This is so true.
I think this is going to require multiple.
If the mirrors aren't adjusted right, I can't even shift into out of park. It's like I can't see where I'm going.
Box it in unless this comes to an end some other way sooner. But in the meantime, those units are following from a distance. They don't want to get up right behind them, as you mentioned, Alan, because obviously every time they do that, they end up getting shot at. So
there's a lawsuit.
Nobody wants to see that again. They're going to stay back a little bit, not too far. They don't want to lose them, but they will pull back a little bit so they're ready for the end here. And now he's off of the freeway at Temple Avenue, by the way, maybe getting back on. There's an opportunity if he makes the right here, another entrance ramp, I believe. In any event, making a turn, a right turn onto
I think that's an unmarked that was behind him right there.
Willow Street at about the speed limit here, slowing down a little bit compared to the driving we've seen earlier on surface streets. In any event, he's now going westbound, closer to the Long Beach.
Just looks like a regular commute for Alicia. If you want an exciting carpool, hit up Alicia, see if you can carpool with her to work. He's running faster than Weather Watch does from the blame. Whoa, that's funny. Poor Weather Watch. He's not here to defend himself or anything.
That's probably
Fall, good to see you.
exactly
Nice
what was
talking to you on the
going
phone
through
today.
his head
Appreciate you.
when he got off the freeway, because it was already
I'm
starting to
gonna
slow
adjust subject
down.
matter
And as we've said
jurisdiction.
already a few times, this is the worst time of the day, not only for pedestrians.
I wonder, in a
traffic
chase like this
wise,
that goes from
and
county
just
to
the
county,
potential for
city to
risk
city,
here is
who
just
who
through the
gets
roof.
who gets
Again,
to
making another
prosecute?
random turn appears to be a random left turn southbound onto Cherry Avenue.
Is it like the first person, or is it where you catch him, or where the most offenses were committed?
Closer to the shoreline now in Long Beach. He is, again, slowing down compared to earlier, but still.
Hey, Kusky, we've got yesterday's police chase from Los Angeles, greater Los Angeles area.
Right through that as well.
Just crazy. There's two cameras here. We've got two helicopters that are following this, as well as the police helicopters. So we're just trying to follow this. This
to be either a canine or a supervisor.
That's the.
Possibly.
I don't think the supervisor's going to be in front. But this driver, if you look on the right, he was shooting right there. They backed up. You could see three muzzle blasts. He's got an AR type rifle, a sporting rifle, and he's been shooting at the police. This is the second time we've seen. If you watch his windshield here, eventually he's going to sort of. I don't know. He's going to make it Swiss cheese out of his front windshield. I don't know what was in front of him. I'm hoping the second camera will sort of reveal that. Hopefully it won't be at the second camera, the second helicopter.
Long Beach PD, I'm understanding from our assignment desk, is being notified as they are now in their jurisdiction. Again, it's almost pointless to count the number of jurisdictions we've been through at this point.
It's funny. I mean, someone who plays video games will understand what you're talking about. But oftentimes in games where you have to level up your skills to play a game, you have to find some non-violent objects or beings to let you practice, hits and attacks and things like that. And it sounds like cows won in your case, or lost, depending on how you look at it. Dude, man had to have carjacked the truck right after the owner got gas. It gets great mileage. I'm sure it's not one of the Lightning trucks, but.
If he goes all the way through, I've got some mixed minus issues in my ear, guys. Stand by 1 second.
Mixed minus means that that's when you hear all the communication that's happening minus one channel. So he might be hearing himself. He stopped. Look at that.
Coming to a stop. Somebody just is somebody firing at, or is he
No,
firing
he was
out?
firing out. Do you see those puffs of
Somebody was
smoke?
firing in. Did you see, Rob?
That was
Could you tell?
glass exploding
Couldn't tell.
out of his
Couldn't
windshield.
tell. It could go either way, but he was firing, maybe firing out through the windshield of that truck. I don't know what he was firing at, but it looked like from up here, it looked like he was firing out of the vehicle. Again, I don't know what he was pointing at, but more shots fired here on PCH.
I spent a lot of time playing WoW, Shells. I spent a lot of time. That was my addiction. And I'm done with WoW. I can't go back to that. Wasted. If my slash played on WoW was
Yep, we're going to stay on the
It's
driver's
way
side
too
of the vehicle
much.
here as he makes his way through another major intersection. What was unclear there is what he was shooting at, because if he was willing to fire through his own windshield, he must have had a target that he was pointing at.
they are backing off just a little bit for safety, but they're also converging on this to try to have a plan to get this guy out.
By my count, and quite frankly, guys, we don't know if anybody has been struck by gunfire over the course of this pursuit yet. It's certainly possible.
We'll call it a
We just
sporting
don't have
rifle.
that
Is that good,
information yet.
bullish in Seattle? Can we agree on that definition? Yeah. I'm just hoping it's under warranty because it's going to need it. I think the helicopter on the right is probably a lot higher. The lens just is not as clear. They're probably shooting through a little bit of haze. Let's go back to close up on the left here. Up on the side, a little bit of a curb, sort of riding on the median here. Man, everyone's just all over the place. Oh, man, Linda, that is scary. It's scary how fast. I mean, you have so little time. Imagine these drivers that he's flying up behind as we watch the speed just a little bit. 70, well, not right now. So doing 50 miles an hour right now. But he comes up so quickly behind some of these cars that that you just don't have time to react. Wow, intentionally hacked my account to make me purchase a two-factor identity. That is just a dirty trick. I never had to do that. I got out before they really pushed that. Not sure if he's high on something. He did steal the truck. He did a hit and run. He has now 3 times fired at someone. Twice, I think it was at officers. I don't know what the last one was. It was just up and out of the windshield. It could have been towards the police helicopter. The direction was sort of up in an upward angle out of the vehicle, and it was right in front of him where he's driving. So now he's driving through a windshield that's less than clear. Let's put it that way. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm sure that's what he's saying, Katrina. He's just like beep beep. Excuse me, right behind you. Move, please. Just a lowly console gamer, says Pete Stone. Shocked someone didn't try to bump him on the side, but glad they didn't since he has a pew-pew. Yes, for sure. This is not something you want to get involved in. You never know.
About a 75 to 80 miles per hour again. This is about the fastest we've seen him on surface streets in quite a while. He was slowing down dramatically as he weaved his way through LA County and then into Long Beach, but now he's on PCH with not a whole lot of traffic in his way, doing about 60 now. I should mention that we have already bypassed the 710 freeway. There is the possibility that he aims towards the 110 freeway and decides to get on the Harbor Freeway.
Alicia. We could just hope.
And then at that point, he has more options. But in the meantime, we have bypassed the 710. He is still committed to PCH. And anytime you see any traffic in his way, still pulling the same tactic of jumping over the double yellow lines into oncoming lanes of traffic, blowing right through the red lights. The dangerous driving continues, but quite frankly, the scariest moments are when he pulls into a stop or slows down. So I don't know what's worse at this point with this guy. They just need, they need to
Lee, this is a question I don't know the answer to yet.
Vehicles, and potentially, most likely,
I will tell
this
you,
will
there's a
culminate
second
in a
arrest.
use of force situation
When this
because
ends,
of
there's a second
the
arrest, and
amount of,
the
dire
angle I
threat
watched
here
didn't show who it was
everybody
or where he
in this
came
guy's
from.
vicinity is
So I'm hoping that we
indeed,
can see with the
danger
two
is so
angles we can watch this together. I have not seen it all the way through that
and
way.
I say probably because I don't know this for sure. It'd be great to get this from
Carol, usually it's like 3 to 4 hours.
I have a law enforcement officer sitting right next to me who was flying Air 7 this afternoon, Dan, who has 30 years of experience with LAPD. Would I be correct, Dan, in saying that they would be, it would be almost likely at this point that a supervisor has authorized the use of force to fire into that vehicle? Yeah, at this point, it's fair to say that gunfire may very well be fired in his direction if they can get units in position to bring to an end. That is certainly a possibility. A more peaceful resolution would be if they could somehow
Pollo Loco? Was it the crazy chicken in Spanish? Is that what it was?
Armored vehicle, but the way he's driving and the way the way he's willing to use that gun, all bets are off. I mean, it's really hard to say what's going to happen next.
Ivan, are you here in chat? Ivan sending me text messages of his kid, pictures of a kid, and I don't think he knows I'm live streaming. I think he'd get on if he knew. I'll send him a quick text, see if he can pop on. Let's see if he jumps on. I don't know if he's got something else going on. This traffic is just, I'm so glad he slows down, because sometimes he just blitzes through these intersections, like, so fast that he's going to like lose control as he goes over the little dips. They have great chicken. I've never had them. Is it just a California chain, or is it found in other parts of the nation? It's a guinea, says Gordon. They serve fried guinea, not chicken. As someone who doesn't like pew-pew, the term sporting rifle is much less jarring for some reason than AK. Yeah, AK is actually... Sorry, Amber, I'm not trying to correct you here. There are some terms that are very similar, and sometimes they get confused a lot. AK is usually like a Russian-made semi-automatic or sometimes fully automatic rifle. AR is sort of the name that the public has given a sporting rifle, and it's the traditional black look of no wood stock, semi-automatic, has a clip on the bottom, customizable bump, the stock length and everything like that. But the rifle itself is called a sporting rifle. We just lost that feed.
Alex Murdoch stole it.
And Alex Murdoch stole that feed. I'm not sure why. We'll see if we can get it back here. Come back, little helicopter. Let's switch over to this one for a while. When we get that other one back, I'll take it. This audio sounds like
Believe
this.
he had a goatee, hat, baseball cap backward. He rolled down his window, asked the driver next to him, another man in a truck, seemingly asked for directions. Yeah. Now we're coming up onto a shopping center, pulling into a parking lot, which is always dangerous given the pedestrians who could be here. This is in Harbor City. You made the point that all agencies, are in the shopping center.
Wow.
Fortunately, is driving decently.
And he could take a civilian into custody.
Here we go. We got the other view now. So the first helicopter. This is a better view. I like this cameraman too. Okay, let's watch the windshield. Every time he slows down, I think there's little puffs that come out the windshield. Let's see. Nope. Oh, now he's really accelerating. 60, 70 miles an hour type. Let's see how fast it goes here. Nope, only 50. It was yesterday. The sporting rifle does not have a select fire option. Yes, they're all semi-automatic. Armalite rifle. Ivan, I'm so happy the RA and the gang is here. Yay! Ivan, I got your text. I didn't have time to look at the picture. I just told you I was live.
Nothing on FM4.
Okay, Joan, they do have high-speed chase alerts. There's an app you can get. I got it on the iPhone. It probably is out there for Android as well. But there's an app called Police Chase. Let's see, it's called Chase app, and it's a picture of a helicopter. I'm not sure if I can.
How many holes, Rob?
Down here on the bottom, the very bottom. It's a little like blue and purple. It's got purple on the bottom, a helicopter, and red on top. See the windshield there?
No icon, correct?
That's crazy. Anyway, that app will alert you every time there's a high-speed chase and give you a link that you can watch it on. I love it. I love the app, and it's free. Okay, now it's getting scary on these little tiny back roads. Just barely enough room for one vehicle down here. If somebody's coming the other direction, there's going to be a problem. The whole chase that I watched is less than an hour. Let me see if I can see where we're at time-wise. We're more than 3/4 of the way through.
I'm trying to connect on my phone.
Let's see. So we've got probably less than 15 minutes, and I think several of those minutes are after the after the vehicle stops moving.
Shot again.
Did he shoot again? See the windshield. Oh yeah, there's another. It's looking a little bit.
It's coming to a stop. Coming to a stop. They can't hear me, right?
We can hear you. He's near an elementary school right now. Oh my goodness. The chase goes on until it ends. Wendy, truer words have never been spoken.
Newscopter has to come down. Take newscopter off. Newscopter has to come off until we come down.
They're fighting for airspace. Yeah, it's sad that they have to have an app for that, Lee. The fact that there's enough demand that an app exists, and there's more than one, too. Teresa, it was kind of him stopping for the kids coming out of school.
Nothing.
Oh, my goodness. You know, the good thing about an AK, for those that do like shooting AK type rifles, is they just work. I mean, you can drop it on the ground, drop it in the sand. It's full of dirt, gritty, hasn't been cleaned. It'll still just run. It'll just work. Not the highest accuracy, but let's see, is that windshield getting worse?
Any cops behind them? They're all following, okay.
They've got police everywhere. It snowed in SoCal the other day. A ton, right? They're like people that are stuck in their houses because of so much snow. Ivan says, if your numbers get low and you need a chase, I have 20 to 30 people on demand who will take one for the team. Real Cousin Eddie types. Ivan, thanks for connecting me with the for the people who will do that. But I think we'll just settle for someone else doing it. I'd rather nobody in chat has to take one for the team. That's when the news reporter mentions his mistress. What? I missed that part the first time through.
Whoa! Pow! Into the pole! Into the pole! Into the pole! They can't hear me, right? Oh, gosh.
Driver
Look at
comes
this.
out.
Suspect. He's running without the gun. Running without the gun. They're going to take him down here. He's now
Whose jersey
on
is
Western
that?
Avenue. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. He's on foot trying to carjack somebody else. Trying to carjack somebody else.
Watch one of the cameras and try to count how many times this guy gets Oh. Gets punched by this officer on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There he goes.
Pulls the
5
taser.
cops on him.
Zap.
6 cops.
Right now, let me just tell you, they're not just holding his wrists. The dude with the hat in the middle, his head's like poked up out of the middle of the scrum. He can't even see the guy, and he's just throwing punches. They're walloping on this guy.
No, I'm going to dial in. Give me the number.
So the officer sort of missed the tackle, but at the same time, it was enough to knock him off balance. So the officer just lunged, sort of went for him and got like the top of his head, which knocked him forward. God, like that. That's good timing. Sort of knocked him forward. They're handcuffing his ankles. They're like strapping his ankles together because he's still fighting them. And that might be an indication of him being on some pretty powerful drugs. I do see a little bit of... he's still fighting them. They still don't have cuffs on his wrists yet. I'm guessing this position is not comfortable for him. Just a guess. But I don't have anything to go on. They'll be suing the state of California. He'll probably win, huh? A little bit of road rash. I think he sort of caught the pavement there a bit with his face as he dove forward. That officer made the flying leap, though. That was impressive. Yeah. Do you know how different this could have ended if that truck's door was unlocked that he ran up to and tried to open? Is that a kilt? I think it's just like a flannel.
I got no signal.
So check this out. So we've got the car there. I'm looking for a second person in the car.
There's a lawsuit.
So now he's not able to walk because they've hogtied him, literally. So they have to sort of drag him by the arms, also, behind his back, which is not comfortable as well. I want to see if there's if they pull out to show. There's a larger gentleman that ends up getting arrested as well. And I want to see.
One's on 5.
I want to see where he comes from. Yeah,
FM1 is on 4. FM2 is on 5. The volumes, yeah. Both say ICOM.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
Yeah, so
negative. It's over.
They gave him some air conditioning. Let's watch here and see what's happening. Well, the officers are telling people to move back. On the bottom of the right-hand side, there's a gentleman there. The officers are telling people to move back.
I can't believe he didn't take the gun.
He's not cooperating.
Anybody get hurt? Maybe the cop might have gotten hurt, huh? Was it a bad hit? I almost missed it.
Looks like the bystanders and the police are sort of getting into a little bit of a scuffle here. Just sort of pushing each other around. Not pushing, but the police are trying to back them up, and the bystanders are not moving. I'm not sure if those cops, it looks like the one ran into the other one. That's a pretty close parking job.
We should go back and land and figure it out.
Okay, watch the bottom of the left-hand side.
Should we go to Long Beach or go back to Van Nuys? There's
still some pedestrians down there at the bottom of the left-hand side. Oh, they just got panned out a little bit. Still seem to be jawing with the police just a little bit. I think that's where our second arrest comes from. Pow! Wow. Yeah, that'll buff right out. No problems. Open the phones. Okay, the phone line's open. How about that? The phone lines are open for the burner phone, those that know the burner phone number. Okay, so they're wailing on him. I'm trying to watch what's happening on the left-hand side. I believe there's another arrest that's about to take place. I think it was one of those pedestrians that was just standing around. I don't think it was somebody else out of the vehicle. But look over here. All those officers are moving over. They've already got him. They're surrounded him right there. See this dude? I think he was just filming or giving him a hard time or mouthing off or something. But he's inside the tape. He probably wouldn't leave. And now he gets a ride as well. Free rides to anybody who wants. Today only in California. Did the bags deploy? I believe they did, Mary Beth. At home dent removal kit should do it. A little bit of Bondo and a can of spray paint. That truck's going to be good as new. I'm curious if you've had a close encounter with a high-speed chase, especially if it's pretty unique or intense. I'd love to hear it. If you want to give a call on the burner phone, the number is right here. We'll see if we can get anybody on to share some funny stories or scary stories. Hopefully nobody was hurt. I love chases where nobody really gets hurt. In this case, obviously the driver probably needs some medical attention.
I'm back.
You're back. We're back too.
It's not great, but I've got it.
Okay, so I think they're done showing this. I'm going to go back and rewind and show you on slow motion the time that we had gunshots on the right-hand camera. Let's see if I can do that. I don't have the other one saved yet.
He is running. Lock your doors, everyone. Oh, gosh, you want to...
Okay, so we're going to go here. We're going to go to channel 2. Right here. Say stop. We want to back up. Okay. So, hey.
Call from
Ivan. Ivan, how are you doing?
How are we doing, sir?
We're doing great. Just watching in slow motion this tackle by this officer as he knocks the guy down.
I tell you, police chases are a different animal. It takes a certain amount of bravado and not give a F.
Yeah.
Because let's be real. Like, unless you are in a crotch rocket or unless you are in a Hellcat or some kind of souped up, you cannot outrun radio. You cannot outrun helicopter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
okay, I'm going to back this up. We're going to watch in slow motion. I'm not sure if you can see this as well. This guy, he tried to outrun it, and the officer, as he comes up to this intersection, you'll see the officer pulls out in front of him just a little bit, just veers to the left, just enough to get the nose of his car right in front of the truck and catch the corner here. So give me a second. Here we come. There's the officer. So he sort of just blocks the path a little bit, pulls forward, clips it. The tire's gone. It's hosed completely. The truck's it's up on two wheels on one side, comes down on the right-hand side. It's just the rim and sort of skids and pulls and then just straight into this pole. I mean, just
and then
boom.
And once you go to foot, once you go on foot,
you always
it is
lose.
only a matter of time.
Yeah. So let me back up way back here. I'm going to see if I can find the spot where he was shooting from the Let's see, where was nope, that's not the one. I want to find where he was shooting his windshield first. I'm not through there. Not there. Keep going back. Sorry. The chase is really interesting when he does it in reverse. I mean, what skill to drive like this?
Well, this is the worst time of day. Like you want it like 5-6 p.m. local time, and then you need to hit the 101, whatever your freeway is, and you need to gun it into the boonies, and then you need to find some suburb, and you need to dip off and be willing to duck low for hours on end. But most people don't. They think they need to keep moving, and that's the fatal flaw.
Yeah. Okay, I'm still going backwards here. I want to show the where he shoots through the front of the windshields because it looks like he's aiming up. I mean, you can see the path of the shattered glass from the windshield, maybe a little bit of the muzzle blast as well. Okay, so here's a little further back. This is such a long chase. I wish it was shorter. It would be easier to find this clip.
Well, and it's funny because the police will just literally wait for them to make the fatal flaw or the silly mistake. Mm-hmm. They will let them corner themselves in or pin themselves in. Like when you start getting into residential like that is the dumbest place for you to be because like they can literally corner you. Like you know what I mean? It is over before it begins.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the first one. Here's the first shooting, and it's the angle. We don't get to see the firearm on this. I should have saved the other video, but you're going to watch just about at the top of the car and about where the second door, the passenger door on the top will be. So let's watch here frame by frame, and we've got
holy cow,
bang right there. So there's the first blast right there, as you can see that.
Yep.
Bang, bang. Bang. So you got three distinct shots right here that he's firing right around this corner as he goes around this blind corner. The cops are probably right on his tail there. But that at that point
shooting at the police that heightens it. I'm telling you, that takes because when it's just a police chase already, like it is just that is one level of enhancement, I guess you could say. But once you start opening firing, they will literally unload every resource they have at their disposal. It is on at that point. That is what they live for. That is what they go to work for. Like, you will not get away once you do that.
Yeah, that's
promise.
Crazy. Yeah, Andy Ketright says, I don't like all the jacked up cops beating him. You got 6 cops on him. He's not going anywhere. If he's on certain drugs, it may be very difficult to subdue him. But that does look like it might have been a bit excessive.
Honestly, that's when he becomes suicide by cop. That's what he's doing. When you start open firing on police in a police chase, you are literally subscribing to suicide by cop. That's what that is.
Yeah. Crazy.
I mean, for real. Like, no criminal in his right mind thinks, like, and criminals come in all shapes and sizes, and most of us are not the brightest bunch of the bulb. But, like, when you start willingly running is one thing. When you start open firing in broad daylight in residential neighborhoods on police, you are willing to lose it all. In fact, you're hoping for it.
Yep. The police response anytime that another officer is directly threatened or attacked, it steps up to a notch that it takes it from like 10 to 100 is what it does. And the police, and now it becomes personal.
Exactly. Because think of that. This isn't a video game. You don't get a do-over. Like, once you start willing to take, it's one thing to like put them in dangerous situations. It's one thing to risk civilian life in your chase. Once you start shooting active bullets at police, they don't care. All bets are off. There is no more take him alive or dead. It is take him by any means.
Yeah. I've got to find this part where in the chase where we'll go a little faster here, where they shoot through the front of the windshield. So I thought the angle, and maybe you could help me with the angle just to see what you see on the chase.
Yep.
Let's see. He's got to get on a side street here, and he slows down a little bit, and that's when he shoots. Let's see.
And what time of day is this?
This is about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So the school's just got out.
God. Yeah. Look how busy that is.
I know.
It is.
And it gets busier. I mean, this is not the busiest, but the fact that there are kids and so many pedestrians out walking and
every resident, like, there could be people on bikes, strollers, anything. Okay. Like, this is end of all. Like, no backup plan. He is on his last mission.
Okay, look at this right here. Boom. See the out of the front of the windshield there's one, and then boom, there's another one. The angle, it looks like it's going up, and maybe that's just the air of the the wind going over the front of the truck, sort of pushing the smoke and the glass up and over. So he might have been shooting straight forward. It's hard to tell. It looks like 2 shots there. Boom, boom.
That's desperation. I would be interested to see the autopsy. I'm guessing 3 to 4 different chemicals. Heavy amphetamine, maybe PCP. Like, it could be literally anything at that point. But that is not just a random carjacking high-speed chase. Like, like I always tell people, like, not all crimes are created equal. Not all murders are created equal. Not all police chases are created equal. It's not like stepping on ants. When you start open firing on police, you have resigned all backup plans. That's it. You are ready to go.
That's you've punched your ticket at that point. You know, it's you're on your way out.
Right.
I will say, for those that don't know, I'm speaking with Ivan. Let's see, Ivan. We've got you in chat here, so I can link your name. Ivan. Ivan has a YouTube channel, and it's a YouTube channel that that does not focus on police chases. He's actually got a cute as a button. What is it? A mini pin?
A miniature pincher.
Miniature pincher. The dog's name is Rebel, and it completely rules Ivan's life. Anything that Rebel wants, Rebel gets. If you like cute dogs, and I'm going to share your link on Monday to your channel. I'd love to see a couple people subscribe, like a couple videos, and give Rebel the attention she deserves, because it's the cutest little dog. But, but we'll do that. We'll get your channel on Monday. We're gonna on the live stream, because we do have a new court case we're following. Yeah. It's gonna be, and it's a spicy court case. It's a good one.
Have you leaked the case yet, or no?
I was watching it on Friday just to catch up, and it's the case. It's the boyfriend. It's the boyfriend case. Law and Crime's providing the feed. Unfortunately, the only feed we have right now, so we'll be taking it from Law and Crime. But the feed is just. It's really good. There's a little bit of audio problems. I'm able to tweak some of it and get that sort of fixed. But the case has incredible lawyers with so much debate and argument back and forth. I mean, we had Harpootli and Jim that just like slept through half the case, and we're like, why is there no objections? This case is the exact opposite. It's fiery. There's some heated discussions.
Not to divert you, but don't you think it was funny that, like, did you watch any of the did you watch the defense's press conference, like, post trial?
I didn't see it. I didn't see defense.
So basically, Harpootlian did the press conference for the defense, and basically he said once the judge allowed the defense bring in every financial misdeed,
it was over.
His literal words were, "We could have brought Mother Teresa up there to say that Alex was a great guy, and it wouldn't have mattered." And he's right. You know what I mean?
Yep. Prior acts will get you a conviction faster than anything else, and there were so many. That was frustrating. I know you're pretty frustrated with the outcome of the case. I followed your chat as well.
Honestly, Ari, I like I've said all along, I think he is implicated. Mm-hmm. I just hated how it all went down. Like it just feels wrong to me how it all went down. I get it. Like I think that he does not know what it all happened, and he's just a fool in the night, and he doesn't understand how this all happened. Not at all. I'm not a fool, but like I do not believe the timeline and evidence prepared was that in which was convicted upon, and I think the 45-minute deliberation affirms my assertion. That's all I'll say. Like
it was.
They had
45
character
minutes.
trial at the beginning.
Yeah, 45 minutes, and I guess 9 of them were already solid on guilty as soon as they got in the jury room. There were 2 that were saying innocent, and 1 that was like not sure. The only thing they basically watched was the video, Paul's video, and in 45 minutes they flipped three opinions and got a conviction.
It's almost hilarious because here Waters spent over 2 weeks hammering finance crimes.
Useless.
They didn't even consider it.
The jury hated every minute of that. Every minute.
Right. I mean,
I'm surprised they didn't just let him off because of all that.
Right. I mean, they didn't even think of it. If it wasn't, and I think it's almost like poetic justice, because I've always said all along, if he ordered it or if he knows about it, fry him the same. That's how I feel about it. Yeah. I don't care if he pulled the trigger or he knows he did. In that regard, he's just as guilty either way, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But the fact that Waters spent 2 weeks on these finance crimes to tarnish his character, and the defense slept through all of it. They admitted it, basically.
Yep. And the funny thing is Waters has to do it all again. All those financial crimes, he's got to go through it again. And I don't think he's going to plead guilty. I think he's going to fight every single one.
I honestly do.
You think he'll plead guilty?
He's going to. he's going to plead out. He already admitted it in open court already. What is his defense? He's admitted in open court that he did all this. There might be a couple here and there, but like the bulk of them, he has to plead out.
I think they're going to push really hard on appeal. The Fifth Amendment, the problem they had with the Fifth Amendment, where Waters.
But that will be separate from the finance crimes.
But I wonder if they'll. He's admitted to. I wonder if they can win an appeal that says it's improper for them to let this into the trial, if they'll still allow the evidence in the finance crime.
But they're still separate matters. I think at the end of the day, the only hope he has on the finance crimes is getting him transferred out of state custody into federal. And I know that you've kind of poo-pooed that, but believe me, as somebody who has been in both, it is night and day. Scott, it is night and day. I promise you.
Wow.
It matters. The only reason he would want to be transferred, the only reason he would fight those in the least regard to take them and not plead out is to get transferred into federal custody, because it does matter. To be in max state custody for double murder as opposed to being in federal custody for finance crimes, those are two different. That's like literally moving on up. Literally, it's like going on up to the east side. Like that's what it is.
So he wants the federal. He'd rather lock him up in federal where it's nicer. He facility.
Will be doing everything in his. He will be doing everything in his legal repertoire to get transferred to federal custody. I promise you.
So if he takes a guilty on the 99, or I guess it's the seven federal charges, because those are the tax charges. The 99 are just financial crimes that they're going to be tried at the state level. It's with the same judge. Okay, can you imagine that? The same judge, also Waters, is going to be there.
That seems strange to me too. Like I don't know. I don't know if I like that or not. That's another matter. But at this point, RA, like even if the feds slam dunk him, which they will because he's admitted to everything under state oath, they don't have to take custody of him. They can say, okay, yeah, you're guilty. We'll run it concurrent, which of course will never happen because he's already doing 2 life sentences concurrent. Yeah. He has to somehow convince the feds to take custody of him, and that's not going to be a small order.
Yeah. Well, let me. We've watched the whole chase. We've gone back and we watched while he shot out the windows. We're going to watch the ending one more time here.
Okay.
Just so everyone can see how the chase ends, in case they happen to miss it. So it was a long chase. It was almost an hour. Took a long time. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Let's back it up here. So in real time, comes up to the intersection, clips a cop car, goes up on 2 wheels, blows out his right-hand tire, slams into the stoplight, just about takes the pole out. Just does a number on the car, jumps out the driver's side, tries to make a run for it. Is not a runner. This is no track star right here. He's probably spent a little too much time on the couch playing GTA and goes for a vehicle. It's locked.
What a lackluster crash after all that.
But look at this move. Boom. Just tackles him. This? And then here's
and he's got a jersey on. Could you get any more stereotypical?
Yeah, it's a 24 jersey. Whose jersey is this? I really need to know. What team is that?
He might as well be wearing FUBU pants and a do-rag. Like, can you get any more? Oh, good tackle, linebacker. In high socks.
Yep.
Get him. Dog pile.
Yep. It's crazy. Anyway, that's enough. It's late at night. Ivan, thanks for calling in. Appreciate that. Thanks for everyone who joined for the two feeds, so we can watch both angles of this chase as it went down yesterday. It was exciting. It's crazy. I'm glad they got him. Not happy with everything that happened there at the end, especially with the looks like a lot of punches were thrown in that scrum.
Well, this is what I think. You lose the right to file any complaints when you put all those people and all those innocents at risk. Like, I don't want the ACLU to even raise their voice. Put your hand down after all those innocent people you put at risk.
Yeah,
that's where I stand.
Firing the gun indiscriminately behind you in traffic, everything else. Yeah, this guy clearly is not worried about anybody else. How many innocent
people did he put at risk? You're right. At some point you forfeit your rights, in my opinion.
Adam says he was wearing a Vinnie Vine shirt. Zig Ziglar says it was Raiders for sure.
Of course.
But
was it blue or was it tarp or was it tarp?
it was seafoam green is what it was.
Seafoam, I forget.
Ivan, thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. We'll see everybody on Monday. We're going to go live.
Likewise.
At 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Monday. We've got that new trial. It is it's the Rittenhouse judge. Same courtroom as Kyle Rittenhouse. Same judge.
Oh, I know what you're going towards. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see everybody there. Thanks for joining me for the police chase. My name is Recovery Addict. I normally cover true crime. We also do a little police chases here. Thank you very much, Ivan, for connecting. We'll catch up with you probably later. I'll probably text you. So thanks a lot. We'll see everybody. Please, when you go home tonight, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, and make their day just a little bit better. And stay safe till we go live Monday morning with a new court case, 9 a.m. We'll see you then.